I'm not trying to give you guys like life advice, really, but I don't know. I was reminded of my own situation once and wanted to share. I played poker professionally for 4 years after college. What changed with poker? One day I woke up and the 3 websites that I played poker on had their domains seized by the Department of Justice. And I wasn't allowed to play on them anymore, basically. Legislation in the US has never been kind to online poker. Like brick and mortar casinos try very hard to control that market, and the games that they spread online for a long time they just didn't, and now they do a little bit, but the games aren't very good. And the international sites don't want to be regulated the way the US wants them to be regulated, basically, and so the result has just been very hostile to playing poker online in the US for a long time.
Orders confirmed. Moving out. On the move.
Thanks, Press. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to play poker anymore, honestly. If the opportunity was presented to me again, I would just say no. I enjoy doing this a lot more. And I also feel like there's so much other stuff that I could be doing, which I would really enjoy. I hear the faceless growling in my ears right now. We're going to have to play Rendezvous with ballistic weapons for the entire campaign, so they're going to get progressively harder.
On it.
Be interesting to see where that breaking point happens, where they're actually difficult to beat. Is playing poker like that financially sustainable? Poker is no different from a game like XCOM, really. If you play XCOM multiplayer, like there's a lot of variance in it, but the better player is going to usually win. And I was the better player most of the time. Poker is a lot like chess plus variance. So if you imagine a chess grandmaster playing against, you know, people who are just playing casually, the chess grandmaster will basically always win. If you have a very good poker player playing against people who are just playing casually, the very good poker player will not always win, but will tend over time to, you know, make better decisions and come out very far ahead.
Scanning. Overwatch. On Overwatch. Moving to Overwatch. Merci, je bouge.
We're here for a good time, not a long time. Beagle dropped that one like a couple weeks ago. I liked that one. It's especially true of soldiers in his XCOM campaigns.
Move, move, move.
Shots fired.
Move, move, move.
Okay.
Time to motor.
Would I like to do an XCOM tournament with the fans? I hate the way that multiplayer works in this game. Yes, I want to play games with you guys. I'd rather like play PUBG with you guys or something like that though. I hate XCOM multiplayer so much. It's so slow. The game's not balanced properly for it. It's just, you know, there are games which are deliberately made to be multiplayer games and this one is not. And I think, you know, just accept it's not a multiplayer game. It has a multiplayer mode, but
Position confirmed.
we don't have to play that. We're allowed not to. Other people in my chat play a little bit of XCOM multiplayer, though. If you get on the Discord and request a match in the looking to play thread, I bet you can find someone who would be interested.
Orders confirmed. On the move.
Good copy. Moving on target.
Closing on target position now. Moving to designated position.
Well, Brood War multiplayer is like actually one of the best multiplayer video games like in all of history. I would also play Brood War multiplayer before XCOM multiplayer, and I like don't know what the units are in Brood War. I actually have done that in my life. I remember I played... Oh, I think I would play as Terran. And I was so bad at the game, and it's like, it uses MMR and stuff, so you get paired against people who are roughly your strength. So my games would be like, I would build the stuff in my base, and they would build the stuff in their base, and then I'd like get battle cruisers and drop ships, so that I could drop their base and kill them. And they wouldn't be ready. There was none of that like scouting around the map. There was very little expanding. There were no skirmishes or army position. Your army would just stand in your own base until the game ended, basically. Yeah. I played a little Brood War back in the day. It was pretty good. Pretty good. Don't want to brag. No Rush 20. Yeah. I mean,
On my way.
I've never been the person who actually like asks for those constraints and then yells at somebody if they like attack you early or anything like that, but practically speaking that did happen in the games because none of us were like good enough to actually attack the other person. Oh, I remember vultures. Those were so complicated because they could like move fast. Oh no. Oh, that was not a good time. Turn-based games are more my speed in general. Brood War champion. Yeah, that one's pushing it. There are things that I'm bad at. There are things that I'm good at. And I'm happy about that. There are also things that I'm bad at. And I'm not going to pretend that that isn't true. That was a flank. I did not think that was going to be a flank, but the game gave it to me. Did I like... I guess I blew... What? That's not a flank. Okay.
If you say so.
I think I've had the most bugs in my favor in this campaign out of like any campaign I've ever played. What time-saving mods do I use? Stop wasting my time. I use robo-jumpers, various speed-ups or whatever it's called. Wait, that has armor? Oh, it's a drone, right? It's a drone? I'm pretty sure it's a drone. And the big thing I use to save time is Cheat Engine 6.6, which is actually a third-party program, which just speeds up the entire game's processing by a little bit. Okay, so the Faceless are not fast enough to attack us this turn. There's a guy back there. I don't remember exactly who he was. Looks like only one Faceless in the Haven, so that means there will be 13 Rebels with no Faceless after this mission. That's good. He might be a Sentry or he might be a Trooper. I'm gonna risk this move. I did just buy Vulture. That was an advanced speed. That's pretty good. They actually do have a sort of ranged attack. Let's move back a bit.
Good copy. Moving on target.
Hey, Rock the D, how you doing? I don't know how we're getting that loot drop. Maybe like this.
Moving.
That might pull Overwatch. Don't be a sentry.
Got something new.
It is just a trooper. I thought so. I was quietly confident that was just a trooper. That's why I made such a bold move.
Heading there now.
No, I just actually forgot that that Overwatch was there.
I guess that'll be okay.
Sort of scatterbrained today. God, that supply raid that we played was insane. I've said this multiple times already this stream, but like Filthy Robot and I have a collaborative campaign we're playing, and we just played a very intense mission together. Which one moved first? I think this one moved first. I will wipe 6 times in a row on Legend Ironman Gatecrasher when I stream more of The Chosen. Is that Gatecrasher like a Spectrum Green Gatecrasher? Because, like, wow, that was a Gatecrasher, that one. This campaign's going very poorly because I made it impossible for myself to win. The Faceless is invisible. The Faceless is back. The collaborative campaign's going very well, though. We're a little bit awkward on the strategic layer, I would say. We're not getting great missions, but we have a Liberation coming up, which we should be able to beat. Other than that, it's going really well.
What's over there? Get ready for a surprise.
Yeah, the collaborative campaign is just him screen sharing and me chatting with him about what I think we should do and so on and so forth.
Good copy. Moving on target. Grenade.
So that's a little more than half the time before I'm streaming here. I'm streaming on his stream, just on Skype with them. If you guys want to see that happening too. And he's just a good strategy game streamer. He's well worth a follow. If you've never checked him out. Plays a lot of Darkest Dungeon. He has historically been a very good Civ player, but he doesn't love Civ 6 right now, and doesn't want to go back to Civ 5, so he's taking mostly a break from that at the moment. I wanted to flashbang the other Faceless. I don't know that I actually can. Whoops. This tile?
Orders confirmed. Moving out.
She has resilience. Hopefully the trooper doesn't just shoot her through the car. Yes, Filthy Robot is very, very salty about everything.
You here. Ready
That is 100% true. Can confirm. I actually want to Overwatch here, probably. What about Beyond Earth? What about Beyond Earth? You've had a rendezvous with 4. I have not. But Faceless can appear in the pods which walk around, as well as as rebels from the Haven. So if you see lots of Faceless, it's because the pods who are walking around just had extra Faceless in them. It's not because those ones are from rebels in the Haven. The only actual rebels in the Haven that you see are the ones who are civilians and then transform. And you'll also see some Faceless just plodding around, doing their yogurt stuff. Guess we kill you. Guess we kill you. Rendezvous? I don't know what that means. Is that offensive? Did I just offend people? Whoops. Oh, rendezvous. You're trying to type rendezvous. How do I look at enemies and their skills and merits?
I'm trusting you. It's not explosive or anything, right?
Do you mean when I don't know if you mean how do I evaluate it?
Position confirmed.
Or if you mean how do I actually see it? Wow, nobody has bullets. Here we go. So I'm using RoboJumper's mod, yet another F1, which lets me, when I'm firing a weapon at something, press F1 and see all of their stats, abilities, their weapon, and how much damage it does and stuff. That's yet another F1. It's the name of the mod. It's by RoboJumper. In terms of like how I actually think about what enemies do, it's mostly just a lot of experience fighting against them in the past. But still, I don't really know what enemies are going to do in weird situations. I'm pretty comfortable with what they'll do in like the normal situations that I see them in all the time. But when we're in a situation which is sort of bizarre, sometimes I'll get surprised.
Moving on target location.
Yeah, Beta. How you doing? I didn't make you the fancy bit thing yet, Beta. It's on the list though. I also didn't finish my Shinobi class review. That one's also on the list. I'm gonna go there. Have a good feeling about it. Actually, I have a pretty bad feeling about it, but we'll be okay.
I guess that'll be okay. On Overwatch.
Sorry. Sharpshooters are amazing. Look at that. Do Faceless ever level up in Havens? I don't know. Good question. I don't know. Maybe? They don't get extra perks, like when you fight against them. I'm going to do an officer or Psi review. Thank you, Master of Psi, for the 100 foreheads. And it like goes. It's a very irritating emote, honestly. That's like, that makes me sort of want to like turn away from the computer. Master of Psi says your reviews of Thursday Night XCOM are the funniest thing he's seen in a while.
We might have to resupply the bar.
Cool. I appreciate that. Glad you're enjoying them. Let's go center mass for you know, more Haven killing. Wow. I didn't even think about that. That's incredible. We can finally actually do stuff. We have another Advent Officer Corpse for either Skulljacks or another Incendiary Grenade, and the Advanced Speed PCS is pretty good too, probably, presumably. Let's flip over to Advent Robotics straight away. Otherwise, I don't think there's anything much to do from that. When do I get my own chair emotes? I was gonna go with the standard Agbamosho emote, like the wizard with the arms out, but have lightning come out from his hands. Does that sound cool to you guys? That was my thought. If you guys are like strongly against that, then feel free to let me know. Beagle Rush is currently telling me that we're not friends anymore because In Control plugged me on Twitch, which did happen. On Twitter, rather. Yes. In Control plugged me on Twitter. I'm basically famous now. Also, Beagle Rush is messaging me while I'm streaming. That was not a problem that I had to deal with 6 months ago. Lightning sounds like a mid-tier sort of thing. What would be like a high-tier thing? I'm not allowed to make a Bible Thump derivative emote, Russ. It's like not... It's against the emotes terms of service or something. I have no idea why, but it is. In Control is he's one of the old guards in esports. He's been around for a very long time. StarCraft Brood War player who got into casting and podcasts with those guys. He was just over in Korea casting a tournament. And he really likes Long War 2. And in general, XCOM 2. He's going to be playing War of the Chosen. He'll be doing a 24-hour War of the Chosen. No, XCOM. He'll be doing a 24-hour XCOM stream. Maybe it's War of the Chosen. I don't know. Right before War of the Chosen comes out. So you should give him a follow and check that out. I'm going to be watching some of it when I'm not streaming myself. In Control talks about me on stream and says I'm basically the best XCOM player ever. Yes. Yes. Okay, we're getting hunted by a UFO. That's probably just going to straight up end the campaign. At least we'll have like a set end point. We don't have to like slowly bleed out. It's a blessing and a curse. This is vulnerable. It's still not good. Is there a hidden dark event? No. I might boost this. I'll probably boost that. I think the mission would be nice to take on, but I don't think we can beat it with what we have at the moment. Ah. we need the little dog drawn here saying everything is fine. I managed to proc a strength 5 retaliation, which is the reinforcements retell. I don't have damage. Damage seems important against that. I don't have damage. I don't have damage. I don't have damage. Wait, the supply mini retells aren't actually going to be easy either. Because, yeah, I don't have damage. Let's boost. Cover. I don't know how deep cover interacts with different side perks. Armageddon's Edge, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Okay, let's play this mission here, and then we can throw somebody else in the side, or AWC. AWC, that's the one. What happens in Long War if you ignore a retaliation? You lose all the rebels in the Haven. Actually, I think you lose up to 13 rebels in the Haven.